Hey, what's up, and welcome to my corner of the internet. So today, I'm bringing to you an anime that wasn't half bad, and I'm saying that a lot, but this anime was pretty good. I love how well written it was. It was one of those animes that from start to finish was pretty solid. No episodes were really wasted. It tried a lot of different things, but from episode 1 all the way to episode 12, I got to where I needed to go, and I felt incredibly happy about it. Like, this anime seems so solid in its storytelling. So, the anime that I'm talking about is Revengers. So boom, like I previously mentioned, this 12-episode anime that came out last season was probably last on the list of all the animes that I was watching. It wasn't the best thing I was watching that season. It wasn't going to be the most amazing. But what I liked about it was incredibly well written, and I can't believe I just did that when I said those words. But anyway, this is an action period piece. This is written by Ryusei Yamada, and we follow our main character, Raizo Kurima. And basically, this story is about revenge. And specifically about a group of people that get revenge for other people. This story was interesting in the many aspects that it dealt with historical pieces that were actually things that really happened, with the idea of opium going through cities, Japan being opened up by other countries, and how that influenced Japan. And I love the different historical pieces. I love how the setting and a lot of the themes are Japan changing, the different technologies that is showcased from our characters. It's a very interesting mix. It seems as though new things are being added on top of the older things. Like, I doubt all these innovations would be happening during this time that we see during this anime, but it's added and it doesn't feel out of place. Japan feels like it's on the brink of a revolution technologically, and even though they probably had a bunch of different things that other people didn't have, they are still getting introduced to what other countries had. And this is during the time when they started using like guns, steel, all this other stuff. Though I don't know the exact history of everything, I do roughly know around this time Japan was opened up and opium was introduced, which is incredibly terrible. So this anime melds history. It melds a revenge story that we kind of already know what's going to happen towards the end of it. It's kind of all leading up there. It has a lot of philosophical conversation, and our main character, Raizo, is basically, let's be honest with you, he's kind of an idiot. He's an idiot, but he's an idiot in the way of he was following his duty and then ended up doing something terrible, hurting someone, basically ruining lives, and he ends up getting recruited by the actual group of the Revengers who get revenge for people who end up biting into a gold coin, and their teeth marks represent the revenge that needs to be exacted on others. And it has this weird idea of religion melded into it with this whole idea of getting revenge, and it feels like a bunch of assassins, and there's different groupings. They get these, I guess, inspirations from like this church that may or may not be evil. You'll totally find out, but you're never really 100% sure because of all the weird things they got going on within this anime. And I guess that leads us to some of the problems with this anime, where it doesn't explicitly really get to the point of what's going on with the church. But hey, it's a vibe, you know. So yeah, we follow this anime where we're getting revenge for other people. We see the philosophies that is explored within this anime, and we're seeing how all our different characters deal with the idea of revenge, deal with the idea that they are killing people basically for money, and there's a lot of ethics and morality thrown in. And it's funny how the one character, Soji, he is probably the most deplorable of the group. Now, they're all deplorable in their own sort of way, but Soji is the most deplorable, and he raises some of the most philosophical questions that we experience throughout this entire anime. And it's interesting how he gets there. It's interesting how basically being disrupted and how everything's so simplified. And then we have the little monster Neo, who basically is incredibly morally gray, evil but not necessarily evil. And then we have the doctor, who is evil but does a lot of good things and just tries to help other people. And then we have the artist, the artistic leader, who basically fights with like gold dust, which I never really understood it, but it's anime, so it's kind of cool how he gets these things off. It's like, how does this make sense? Like, how does this immediately crystallize and basically asphyxiate people, but then immediately like gets off the face and like it like breaks into 1,000 pieces? I don't know, it's weird, but you know, anime is always gonna do something so weird, and I was into it. I genuinely was into it. Revengers was interesting because it used to play between the idea of cool things that probably wouldn't happen historically, and then things that were just like interesting, fun. It added a lot of different pieces together, and it came out with something solid. A lot of it was definitely aesthetically pleasing. It was a lot of different choices that I like. What this anime did was it was able to blend all sorts of different philosophical questions, a lot of moments where our characters are questioning, a lot of moments where we're seeing a conversation of the idea of revenge. There's a plot twist, well, sort of. We are misdirected. There's moments where our characters are confused, they're conflicted with the idea of what they're doing, what they should be doing, who they should be fighting for, why are they fighting, what are their reasons, and who deserves to be punished. And I also like, it didn't necessarily try its hardest to be the story that just tidies up everything perfectly. I like that. I like when a story does not try to give us every gut-wrenching detail. Like, we get to where we get to. And I love that our main character, Raizo, for his mistake, we are constantly bringing that back up, and he is constantly battling with it philosophically, mentally, throughout the episode. It still sticks with him, and it's stuck with him. And I love that he gets what he deserves in some sort of way, and we already know what's gonna happen, but we accept it because, well, that's the story. Revenges was a good ride. It was a story that definitely got to the point. It wasn't gonna spare any expense, though I guess I don't necessarily like how everything worked out. It was, they kind of crapped out on the just desserts that happens at the end of 12 episodes, and it's not half bad. It wasn't an anime that was supposed to do anything amazing, but I loved a lot of the aspects it melded together, a lot of the ideas it tried out. And I also was super excited to understand that this show was just trying out something new, and it had fun doing it, especially in the way things were animated. I love a lot of the aspects done well within it. I guess what I wish, this would probably do better if it had one more episode to really flesh out more things. I think the one more episode would be able to give it all a bit more continuity. It felt like certain episodes were rushed and jam-packed, and then there were certain episodes that wasn't given all the attention it needed. But all in all, I was glad I watched it. And thank you for watching. I genuinely actually like this anime. It wasn't that bad. It's pretty average. So if you're wondering what I would rank it in any way, shape, or form, it'd probably be 3.5 out of 5. But anyway, thank you for watching. Peace. I appreciate you, and have a great day. Take care.